I want to reverse a sec because I do think that there was X, the duality of X was crazy because I was super surprised when at the time I'm just listening to Look at Me, and it's overmodulated and unmixed and mastered, and it's but then when I see Joey Badass on the track list, I'm like, oh, what? Oh shit! Oh, this dude's nice for real. Did he reach out to you? Like what?
Oh yeah. He reached out to me, and X was a huge fan of mine and Steve's and Pro Era. X was one of those kids who was listening to Pro Era come up. Like we inspired a lot of people. A lot of people
Definitely.
that you see today. Like I remember the first time I met Lil Uzi Vert, and I was with CJ, and he came up to both of us like, yo, when I saw Hard Knock come on Sucker Free Countdown, like it was y'all who showed me that I could do this shit.
Yeah.
That's what Uzi said to me verbatim. I'll never forget it. You know what I mean? Shit, Cardi, same thing. You know what I mean? Like all of these guys, because we were kids at the time, so almost like what our future did for me is what like I did for what we did for a lot of these new generation guys as
I
well.
think just that whole Beast Coast era.
Even if their sound is not what our sound
Right.
is, they were still inspired by the fact that they saw somebody who was more closer to them making the dream happen.
Right.
That was the inspiration for them. It's like we were 17.
Right. Yeah, there was the Beast Coast movement that was so fire. You know what I'm saying? It was pro era, you know what I'm saying? It was shout out to Flatbush Zombies still going crazy, but
Zombies, underachievers. Shout
underachievers,
out all the
man.
guys, man.
It was such just an amazing moment in hip hop, and obviously East Coast hip hop, New York hip hop, and all that shit. So on this new album, is there? And I mean, I have an idea. I think I know a couple of features that we won't say out loud, but I know you got some features on this project. Um, is there still a record with somebody who you have yet to work with, to meet? I feel like you keep your ear to the street. What is the feature that is just for whatever reason not happened, or it could even be somebody new that you're just a fan of that you wouldn't mind working with?
There's a new kid from Harlem coming out right now. His name is Lean.
Okay.
I just got put on to him, so he's like at the top of my mind right now when you ask me that question. But I think he's dope. I think he's incredibly talented. I would love to work with him. But I think for me right now, I love Samara Sin.
Shout out to Samara. She's amazing.
Oh, that's how you say it,
Samara.
Samara. I love Samara Sin. I think her whole vibe is dope. I like Overcast.
Overcast is dope too. Yeah.
I like Marco Plus from Atlanta. He's a he's a crazy spitter. Um, it's a few cats, man. It's a few cats, and
No, Samara's
I need
crazy.
to
Yeah.
start walking around with a list because I really be wanting to give motherfuckers some light. You know what I mean? I like Rome Streets. Rome Streets is on the album. I love. I heard him for the first time in the whole back and forth with the West Coast Kai Cash.
Kai's dope.
He's on the album.
Dope.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Kai's hard.
I really want to be an example, especially as a lyrical MC, of like being able to shine light on not only, of course, lyrical MCs, but just also those new generation artists on the come up. You know what I'm saying? I want to be somebody who's recognized for collaborating with artists on the rise. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not all about just doing the big shit. You know what I mean? Like like when I come across artists who I really love and who really resonate with me and who are smaller, it's like I just kind of have like an instinct nature to like, shit, I'd love to help them in any way, but also collaborate too. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, shout out to all the new artists on the come up, man. And shit, I got so many stories. Like I'm very cool like that. When you run into me in real life, you know what I'm saying? I'm a very like just easy cat. Like we have a conversation. I like listening to people music.
Right.
Like I was at a dinner when I got put onto the Lean Kid, and some kid was just talking about it. Some dude who worked with him, and he was kind of doing a terrible job at explaining it. And I'm like, bro, you selling your man terribly. And he was like, yo, I mean, honestly, the music will talk for itself. And then I happened to have my headphones, and I put them on. I was like, okay,
I
yeah,
get it. Yeah.
yeah, okay, bet. I see why. Okay. Yeah, you know, so it's dope, man. You know, I just want to be a beacon for artists on the come up because I feel like I'm kind of like a young OG at this point. I mean, like I'm like big bro in this shit. Like I done been down all of these different roads. And I could tell motherfuckers, yo, that road got a big ass pothole right there. Go around that shit or take it 2 miles per hour when you hit this corner. You know what I'm saying? So, and I love giving game like that because I didn't have nobody doing that for me. And, you know, it would have been nice to have, but I think that it's also a beautiful thing that I could be that person for somebody else.
You said, you know, I watched the interview you just did with Gillian Wallow, and you know, I think you made an important point that like labels these days aren't fucking with anybody who already don't got shit going.
Right.
Like you gotta have you gotta they gotta be able to jump onto the train while it's already there. That's just what they're looking for, right? You, like you said, we're 13 years into you being a thing where people know you in this music industry. You've been through different management, different situations. If a young independent artist is watching this,
Yeah.
and they're getting the major label interest, what would be your advice to them? Let's say they got 100,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. Let's say they, you know, they're able to pay their bills barely, but they're able to pay their bills on this rap shit. Everybody's starting to call. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you go the major route? And I know that that's not a one size fits all question, but like based on just your perspective.
Well, important that the most important thing you just said just now is it's not a one size all fits question,
For sure.
right? So it's not always going to apply to everybody the same way.
Correct.
No one person, like everybody's not going to have the same path. So just because it worked out for Chuck this way don't mean it's going to work out for Phil the same way. But what I will say is if it's not a matter of you needing money to literally get by in your life or to survive, if you can at least sustain where you are, then I would say to hold off on taking the big bag, taking the advance, because you know, that advance is just buying into your stock as what is essentially a company as an artist. You know what I mean?
Keep
And it's
building
like
your IPO.
keep building your IPO.
If you don't need the money, just keep building it.
If you don't need the money, keep building it. You know what I mean? Because the payoff, when those checks are showing straight up to where you live, it's a different ball game.
For sure.
Where they don't gotta go through somebody and you know you gotta get it every quarter of the year or every half of the year. It's a different ball game when they coming straight to you. And that is gonna have a bigger payoff in the long run than the check up front.
That quick bag. Because then you'll hear.
Because you get that quick bag, but then now there's no bags until you recoup.
Yeah.
Whereas you'll just be getting this steady flow of income with what you got and just keep building it. And it's like in the long term, you make more money that way.
That makes sense.